Damu geidhi nyuothe na wasalimu wote. I say hi to all. We are back from Seattle, Washington, and we thank God because it's another day that the Lord has made. Najua kwamba imekuwa first day. We continue nataka kusema happy Father's Day to all fathers. To be a father is not a job. It's having other eyes more than the two eyes you have. So thank you so much kwa show yetu leo katika mtandao wetu wa Dickens. Tuna mgeni wa heshima, mgeni wa maajabu. Like last time as I told you, she's Dr. Rusi, who was a tailor in Kenya. And today the Lord has elevated her. She's a doctor here in America. Tidako, nasema si mchezo kufika pale. So kama uko pamoja nasi, it's good to follow the show. And as we are sharing, you can also share to other groups. Let the people understand, let the people know, let the people understand that people even learn and become doctors. They can even learn and achieve their goals. Lakini usikae tu pale una imekuwa ngumu, siwezi fanya chochote. So ni vizuri kutotupa tumaini. We are here to give you hope and to tell you that storms of life, they are not permanent.
Kujua ya kwamba we are here with Dr. Rusi ako pamoja nasi. Dr. Rusi, good evening and good morning. Najua tunasalimia wa Kenya wakiwa jioni. Lakini kwanza good morning.
Good morning to you, and thank you once again for the honors to invite me to come back and have like a progression of where we stopped. I'm not sure whether you can hear me okay.
I can hear you very well.
Very good. So good evening, my Kenyan people, wherever everyone is, and happy Father's Day to the fathers.
Thank you. Dr. Rusi anasema happy Father's Day. Unajua, for the first time wanaume wanasikia they have been appreciated. Mtu kwanza akisikia happy Father's Day, anasikia vizuri. Because mothers, everything is mothers. Unajua boy child huwa anasahaulika by the way, daktari. And I think that's why we have so many problems in homesteads, in marriage, because we all think and pretend that the boy child is okay and think that the boy child is strong. That's a topic maybe we might discuss later. Because I know umesoma psychology pia unaelewa zaidi. So Dr. Rusi, ningetaka turudi pale nyuma ya kwamba tukumbushe watu Dr. Rusi ni nani na alitoka kijiji gani Kenya ili waelewe mahali tulikuwa tumeanza.
As we said last time, my names are Lucy Wajiro. By then, I used to be Lucy Wajiro Kamau, born and raised in a very small remote village in Kirathani. Kirathani is in Ithaga.
Yeah.
Ithaga was in Makuyu, now is in Thika, with the recent relocations of areas or places or renaming. After that, I attended Matiliko Primary School. After that, I went to Mogoiri Girls High School, and that was it as far as my education was concerned. Because what I aspired to do after that never materialized. But then I got married, again, went into a small village called Kamonyaka, got married by a gentleman by name Sulaiman Kamau. We've been blessed with 3 children since. They are big teenagers and young men and women now. God is good. And here we are.
Wow. Dr. Lucy, it's good to remind the people. You come from a family of how many people?
I was born in a family of 9. I am the last born. And
Wow.
actually, there were not eventually 9. There were not 9. They became 9. There were 12. It's because my mom lost three children when they were, of course, very young and unknown. That's why we say we are 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, Doctor, let me come to your childhood. Kuna kitu ulisema last time you said that you experienced a lot of problems being brought up. Who was going through trauma? And this trauma can be passed to other generations or to the children. Hebu tuelezee, what is your experience on that? Ama ulipitia nini katika hayo hali? Ili usikia kwamba, and the reason as to why you came to realize it was a trauma.
So at that time, I did not know that was trauma. I do now, or I came to find out later. But, and neither did I know that that was bullying. But I knew I was the scapegoat in every place I went. I knew that I had so many, quote unquote, kids' enemies. One of my primary school teachers, just because I was very small, and I really think that was the only reason I can pinpoint at this time. I was short-statured little girl, even though I can look back and say I was short but smart. And so I was picked on by so many. One of the teachers had a nickname for me, for the whole school. He used to call me Children because of how small, how short. Huh?
He used to call you?
Children, not child, children.
Oh my.
It was a joke nickname, but it became a famous nickname. So every time he was referring to me, he was calling me Children, just because of how short I was compared to everybody else, again, in my classes as I advanced, right? So the bullying or the hatred became something that my psyche noted at that time. And because I was too small and too short, I couldn't fight for myself. And so I internalized all that. Who was I gonna fight, being the smallest in class, being the smallest in school? I remember one time, one of my teachers, my deputy head teacher, had a garden, and the kids went and stole the teacher's veggies, like kale and collard and cabbage and stuff after he planted. Wow. And the big kids said I did.
My goodness. And you could not fight for yourself.
So I could not fight for myself in any way. And that was just one small example. And so I internalized a lot of that, and it kept manifesting itself in many ways, because the body knows to clean you, but if you cannot handle what it is or is trying to come out, you continue internalizing the same, and problems come up later on. They have research now, that is what they call adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. And there's big research as to how they affect different people different ways. It depends on how you are able to either deal with it or you are not able to deal with it. So in my case, I couldn't. And so that's why it was completely internalized. Right.
Did it affect you until you got married? Because it can be a chain of problems.
Manifestations in life with childhood adverse effects comes and goes. It's like waves. It comes in waves. When you internalize it, I'm talking about that in my experience. If life is going well, it is fine and you're fine. Until there are triggers in life. So I was fine in high school because there were no triggers. I was fine as a young lady, if I may say that, because there were no triggers. triggers started coming back when I was just about to get married and when I got married, as I said last time. And so the whole thing like came back in full force.
Wow.
So, right. So the manifestations of my problems then became so strong to the extent now the psyche started speaking in ways that you also don't know. You can understand what's going on, but you're having so many problems. But there's something in me though that kept fighting.
Yeah.
In such a way that when life meaning the people, the experiences that were brought in my life.
Yeah.
When life proved to me I was a nobody, I was nothing. Who do you think you are? Something in me did not believe in that kind of statement. Something in me did not buy that. And so it remained, or I had some capability, I still left. Some people, when some people believe, when some people have been through trauma and they believe what life is saying, the choices are different. The choices are detrimental. They are not very friendly. Something in me did not buy that. And so I had some roots or something left in me to fight back. The only way I could fight though was to prove to everybody that I'm not that who you think I was. And the only way I could fight in this case was to go to school and prove myself through education, because that was my strength, even, you know, in primary school. Right.
Did it ever come to you like sometimes, you know, in life you feel like losing hope? Did you ever feel that one day, like you are losing hope? Do you feel that?
Many days, and almost every day. It's a cloud. It's a cloud that hovers over you when you have such things that have not been resolved. It's a cloud that they say, even if you see white clouds or gray clouds, whatever they call them, the blue clouds are still there. Just know the blue clouds are still there. When you're going through that, in your life at that time, the blue clouds don't exist. Right.
You don't see
all that's left is what you can see. And that's why we blame. We are very good at blaming people. When they do some crazy stuff. It is because that is the only reality that's presented to them at that time. And instead of, now I know, instead of blaming, we should extend love to them. Well, in my experience, again, I'm speaking through my experience. I have been through church. I have been through communities. I have been through friends. We are not taught to reach out. When our people are suffering, we are not taught to reach out. The church is not taught to reach out. The church is taught to teach us to go to heaven. I remember speaking somewhere, I was talking to pastors, and I told them, it is very important to understand what your congregation is going through or has been through, because when you tell us to go to heaven, some of us are going to take a rope and beat you there.
They look for a shortcut to go to heaven.
Exactly. Wow. Because yes, I understand you're telling me to go to heaven, but please, first of all, find out what's going on with me that's causing me too much pain. And then I'll be able to sanely join you to go to heaven. Anyway, our communities are not taught to reach out to those people who've been suffering, mainly because either this is, I don't think it's new research or anything like that. It's just that this is not, there's no exposure. Or those people who've been through trauma have not had the courage to speak. Because the whole thing is completely stigmatized. And with all the stigma, we don't talk.
True.
Yeah. And so the whole thing has not been, it's not exposed in such a way that anybody out there can reach with a hand to help.
Wow, that's so good. We are with Daktari from Seattle, from a Tailor to a doctor. Daktari, let me ask you, we have people who want things faster and quicker. They want everything now and now. Do you think, could this bring depression to some of these people, because some are more depressed, some feel like committing suicide because they didn't achieve what they wanted? Could it cause a trauma too?
Unfortunately, this is man's nature. To want everything quick. I call them the microwave generation. Microwave, we were used to cooking everything, and it took too long until the microwave came, and we knew we could put something in 2 minutes. I have that whatever ready. Life is not like that though. Life, as I know now, I have like a lot of understanding about life now. It is about taking the one step at a time.
Yeah.
It is about, first of all, analyzing yourself to make sure that you had the right voice. What do I mean by that? You're hearing the story today from a tailor to a doctor.
Yeah.
That was not born overnight. It came through struggle.
Wow.
They say that any seed that ever germinated, any flower that ever germinated went through a lot of mud for you to see it. It went through a lot of dirt for you to be able to see it.
Yeah.
Anything that you ever ate and you felt good, any fruit that you ever ate and you felt, oh my God, that was good. It had to go through mud, a lot of it.
Yeah.
For it to get where it is. So with that said, there is a process. And it's very important to understand the process based on what it is that you want. Nature, I don't know why man veers away from nature, but nature, when an apple seed is put in the ground, there's no debate that, is this going to be an orange? Is this going to be a banana? In its DNA,
yeah,
it is known. It knows, the seed itself knows. I am an apple seed.
Wow.
Yes. So there's no competition. There's no imitation. There's nothing like that. Guess what? The creator in us, when he manifests himself through us individually, everywhere, there's not two Lucy's out there.
Yeah.
There's not two Kairos. There's not two of any of the listeners today. God manifests through you in a specific, peculiar way. All you need to know is listen and understand in which way is it? What seed am I? When you've heard the voice correctly, now own that. First of all, you have to own it.
Yes.
That is what called faith. Faith is evidence of things that are hoped for as though they are.
Yeah.
When you own it, now you have to understand that there is a process because you don't jump there overnight. You take one step at a time to get you there. But don't worry about competition. Don't worry about, it's only one of you out there. It's only one of you. Forget about others. But yes, so if you don't understand that, there will be a lot of frustration because everybody's going to be trying to be like Lucy. Everybody's going to trying to be like Mr. Cairo. Everybody's going to start bargaining with God. Oh my God, why now? Why have I not become? Why is this coming? Yet, as we said last time, everything that's coming in your way, it is trying to shape you to become that which you're supposed to become. So understand the process and take one step at a time. What's more important here is to know the lesson and learn it, because unless you learn the lesson, you're going to keep repeating the class.
Wow. Become a repeater.
Unless you know the lesson and pass, you're going to keep repeating the class.
Wow. So that means that could be the biggest problem that people are facing. They are repeaters and they don't know.
Number
And
one, they did not hear the right voice.
Yes.
Or even if they had, they keep doubting. Number two, they don't understand that there's a process.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of trouble along the way. Well, some of us, I'm gonna say something here because I know I'm speaking to a lot of Kenyan people. Parents have had a habit of forcing their kids to become what they never became. I'm going to say that right now. Like, I wanted to become a doctor. I pushed the doctor in my kids because I never got a chance to become that. Oh, I admire doctors so much. Doctors make money. Parents, it's the high time we let our kids choose who they are because they know. They only them know. Because they will get the doctor, yes. They will get the engineer, yes. But eventually you're going to have a frustrated kid because you force them to become an apple when they were a banana. Wow,
that's a good one. So we should not intervene in that line. We should intervene in encouraging them to be what they want to be.
The truth of the matter is, as a parent, as an observant, present parent, you are able to see what your kid is because they manifest that to you every day.
Very true.
You have an accountant in the house, they'll be talking about mathematics. They'll be solving your home problems. They present themselves. But we have to be present to be able to pick up on these things.
Wow. Okay, Dr. Because today is the last day for our show, may you tell us, how are you able to cope with you are learning, you are a parent with 3 kids. How are you able to balance the family matters and the school matters? Was it simple? Was it a walkover?
I can say it wasn't, especially knowing when I started, how I started, and what I was going through at that time. With 3 children, because I started with 3, when they were all young at that time, I had a lot of support from my husband, I have to say that. And I'm so glad and thankful that we were in America, because if we were in Kenya, probably Kenyan parents or Kenyan men today have raised up to be parents as well. Sometimes back, a man did not want to be seen with their children because apparently their wives are whatever. I'm not going to say that, but yeah, I'm so glad that at that time we were in America, because my husband didn't shy off. He loves, even today, he loves his children to the extent that he didn't care being seen with them when the wife is in class. He never missed any occasion just because he's the one with kids, and he did a lot of that. I've been in school for 13 years. That's a long time. So for 13 years, devoting yourself to class and to studying, when you're not in class, of course, it calls a lot of your partner being present. It calls a lot of your community being present. I have 2 ladies. One of them is called Wanjiro, and another one was called Salome, who used to live near me. And when my husband was on duty, he's working, we would take our kids to them and they would help. So the community also played a lot of part in that. And then we got to a point where we would arrange ourselves into shifts. I go to school during the day, I work day shift, my husband works at night. So the kids are at home with him when he's trying to sleep. You can imagine that. It's a hassle by itself, okay? But again, like we said last time, with a goal, both of you are in agreement, you will surely achieve it. One more thing, because of my trauma and because of my pain, going through school again, was not hard for me, because the pain and the propelling power that I was going through to prove myself, I'm not that which you think, it kind of gave me a lot of motisha, a lot of majira, a lot of propelling power. I mean, I see it like I cruised through school so easily, because the power pushing me was too strong. And again, I believe in God. So you add the whole cocktail, it ends up there.
But it's good to tell the people it was not easy.
You have to have a lot of discipline. You have to have a lot of discipline. It was not easy.
Yeah.
Not at all. Because all those forces have to be accounted for that are trying to pull you back. People kept the people who are close to me kept asking me, because at that time, I was not just a mother, I was a wife.
Yeah.
I was a mother of 3, a wife. I was a gardener. I was working as in different places, of course, and our kids were involved since early on in sports. They were playing soccer, and I was a soccer mom. So it is a whole combination of all that. Yeah. So it is not easy, because a piece of you is here, a piece of you is here, a piece of you is here, and again, with the goal and with the grace, it is achievable. Right.
Wow, wonderful. Now, if I may ask, how long did it take for you to school to have your doctorate?
Right. As I said earlier, it was 13 years.
13 good years.
It was 2 years of prerequisites to get my diploma, a year of prerequisites to get to my BSN, but then 3 years in the program. So that's 4. And then 3.5 to 4 to get my master's and my doctorate.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is not a joke.
It is not.
Let's go back to this question. According to your experience, can we say that whatever you have gone through, it's storms of life?
Oh God. Wow.
Or how did you experience of life in your life or in your story?
I think everything to what I am today has been a storm. Every one of those have been a storm. It was a storm by itself to be born by a mother who had been through trauma herself. It was a very big storm to be raised by a mother who was absent or present physically, but she was very present with her traumas. And so most of the nourishment as kids that we are supposed to get from a present parent was absent. And that is part of why me getting scarred was very easy.
Yeah.
Right. And not just me. I'm just speaking for myself, but it is, excuse me, looking back, I can see scars in almost all my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Because it comes with the territory.
Wow.
Experiencing bullying in elementary school of other places was a storm by itself. A big storm.
Yeah.
That was big. But I think, okay, getting married in a place where it's like the community has conspired that we don't want her. That was another big trauma. But I think, and I think that what culminated, what was the crown of it all was when I came to America. And it was so ironical in such that I just landed in the land of opportunity, but it just happens to be the place where I got bullied the most.
My goodness.
Yes. So that kind of crowned the whole thing. But guess what? All those storms were part of my journey, like I said last time.
Yeah.
If they were not there,
Mhm.
I would not be me. I would not be speaking to you the way I'm speaking right now.
Yeah.
It was wisdom after wisdom after wisdom after wisdom. All storms.
Mhm.
It's all life, but we call it storms. Just
Yeah.
because, to me, that was a bitter pill to swallow at that time. The other one came, I called it a bitter pill to swallow at that time. The other one came, I called it a bitter pill to swallow at that time. That's why it's a storm after a storm after a storm. But it was all life. That was my life. That was my journey, right?
Yeah.
And that is why it was all necessary, as I said, for me to be who I am. And yes, I am a full testimony that what those things that we call storms end at some point.
Yeah.
Am I saying that I have arrived? No, I haven't. I'm still here.
Yes.
As long as you're a human being with an ego, storms will still come in different ways, but the grace of God becomes very sufficient, especially when you've learned who you are and how to deal with the storms when they come to you. So life becomes easier, and even if when there are storms in life, you go through them with less suffering or none at all.
Yeah.
Because the main problem, or why we label those things as storms, or those junctures in life as storms, the main reason is because they bring suffering to us.
Sure.
Isn't it? It's because there is a lot of pain that's manifesting.
That's
But if you are able, right, if we were able to navigate through the storm without suffering, we will emerge the other way.
Yeah.
And we will never name it or label it as a storm because we knew how to navigate through.
Yeah.
That's what I teach today. I teach people how to navigate through life in such a way that you are not overwhelmed. You are not sinking in pain.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Dr. You have a website as we are continuing. It's good to mention to the people because I know they'll follow you.
Okay.
How do we call it? You have then you have a website, and what do you teach in the website? What do you have in the website? What is the package? Just guzia tu kidogo. We don't want to tell them what is there. They need to come and get it there. Just guzia tu kidogo, what they'll get there.
What I teach was born through, again, my journey, again, a lot of experience. Coming through that small village, or coming from that small village in Kenya, medicine or health, and this is something else. It's another irony. Irony means it is something that is presented to us like truth, even though it's not. We may think it's true, but it's not. Early on, we are taught to seek health from outside. And so I remember myself, as I got sick one day as a very little kid, and I had to walk, for those who may know, from Kiradani to Kaguku. That's a very long distance for a little kid walking alone, sick. And you go there, that was the only clinic or dispensary at that time. And you walk there, you get an aspirin.
Yeah.
And it's because we call it a placebo effect. You believe you got healed because you got the pill, and now you can walk back home. So coming from that, and I came here, I went through the diploma school, the health field, of course. I went through a diploma in the health field. I went through a bachelor's degree in the health field. I became a registered nurse and I was working as a float nurse in 5 hospitals. So I gave a lot of medicines. That pill that I was going to look for in when I was a little kid, I gave a lot of them. There was something that came to me though. Everybody is looking for health outside. We are seeking for health outside.
Yeah.
In this thing that we call a pill. Unfortunately, my observation was that these things that we gave, I was very generous with them because, of course, the doctors were generous in putting the orders.
Yeah.
Our patients never got better. They came back with more ailments. So we added the pills and the trend continued. And something in me started questioning life in such a way that I am in America. I'm not in that little village now. I'm in America. This is the place with the best education, the best research, the best doctors, and the best medicine. When I continued doing my research, I found that America is also among the last in the category of health. And with the experience of dishing out the medicines, it came to dawn on me that this is not where health is. Health is not here. And so I started looking, where is health? Those people who got well, what did they do? And I started doing all that I found. Not because I was sick, but because I wanted to find out if that is that doable, that which they did. So I did a lot of things. I changed a lot of things in my lifestyle. Fortunately, in the process, I changed a lot of me. I had like 11 diagnoses at that time. And by the end of like a year or 2 journey, most of them I even forgot. We talked with my husband. We were like, I used to have this. I used to have this. My body healed from within when I did what I found out that what people healed did.
Yeah.
So there is health. We are just looking for it in the wrong places.
Wonderful.
So that is where the true wholeness, TRUWHOLEN, true wholeness. I cannot spell that now. My brain just went cuckoo. True wholeness without an E, TRU wholeness, TRUwholeness.com is my website.
Wholeness.
Right, TRU wholeness is my website.
Yes.
And I'm using that one as a teaching, sorry?
.com,
right. I'm using that as a teaching tool to give people hope that yes, there is health. You can get health. Number 2, to encourage people to look for health in the right places. Health is within, number 1, and health is in your garden. Health is in your spoon. Health is in your fork. Health is in your plate. Health is in your mind.
Wow.
All those places are where health is, but we are leaving health where it is and going to look for it elsewhere. You will never get it.
Wait a minute. Can you repeat that about the health is in the mind, in the brain?
Yes. Health is in your mentality, is in the things that you're thinking, the things that you are entertaining on a daily basis. Because if I entertain my brain with a lot of junk and dirt, a lot of that is going to, your body is made in such a powerful way. There are messages going through my brain and my gut and my body. And everything that I think is going to manifest in my body. as a disease.
Uh-huh.
So I better change, if I know that, then I better change what I'm thinking to be something good. If messages are going to be sent in my body, then health is going to manifest.
Okay, in psychology, that means before somebody goes to the hospital, first you are sick in the mind because you tell yourself, I am sick, I need this medication. I cannot get well unless I get this medication. So we should change our way of thinking and start now knowing that the healing is within ourselves.
Yes, but it's very hard. It's very hard because that is what we were sold. We were sold to seek out when we got sick.
Wow.
It is the irony in health. We were sold, it's just like beauty. Okay. Women have been lied to. Women have been told that beauty is not who they are. Yeah. Beauty is what they apply and how they dress.
That's a good one.
But if somebody somewhere wants your money,
yeah,
that's why they are selling you the chemical and lying to you that it's after applying the chemical that you look good. No, beauty was there before. It's embracing the beauty. It's embracing the health within.
Yeah.
And then knowing how to, it's knowing how to, what raw materials are required, if I may use that language. What are the raw materials required to manifest and to keep and to maintain that health? And of course, when something happens, because we have the bodies, things happen. When something happens, to know what the right resources into coming back to health.
Yeah.
I'm not, by the way, don't misunderstand me. I give pills and I take them when necessary. But pills are not supposed to be something I take on a long-term basis unless it is replacing something that I cannot or my body cannot make. A very good example. Say I had a thyroid problem and the doctor's option was to take my thyroid out. I'm going to need or to require a thyroid hormone for my body to function. So I'm going to be taking a thyroid pill. Thyroid hormone pill. Right? So that some things are completely understood. But there are so many other conditions that we have been conditioned to be taking medications. They're not supposed, or if they were supposed to be, it was for a short duration, for first aid purposes.
Yes.
Before my doctor teaches me, this is what you need to do to regain health. Because in the first place, as I tell people, for a very good example for diabetes, I was not deficient of metformin. I was deficient of other things. Metformin became the first aid for me to lower my blood sugar. But then I need to replenish what I was deficient in before I went to metformin. Then my body goes back to normal. But remember what you said about what we said about the microwave generation?
Yes.
We want quick fixes.
Yes.
And we are lied to that there are quick fixes out there. And so we think that when we get so many pills, we are getting the quick fixes. We just don't know that we became customers for life.
Wow, that's a good one.
Right.
Oh, wow, okay. We are running almost short of time now, and we have not touched this question. We have people who wants to come to America.
Okay.
Is it easy to come to America, or what are the procedures? Because some things that you woke up in the morning and you find yourself in America.
Well, my experience again, I born and raised in a very remote village. I did not know there was anything like America. I had learned it in the history books, and that was it. That was it. And I got to a point where I kept asking, why does everybody want to go to America? I didn't know. But anyway, the ignorant me ended up in America. What I'm trying to say is, if you are meant to be in America, come rain or hot water, you are going to end up in America. I don't care what way you come, but you will come. Be careful though.
Yeah.
Going through a lot of hoops that you are not supposed to jump to get here.
Yes.
With that said, we have seen people come on visit visas. Somebody invites you and you come for a visit.
Yeah.
Your stay becomes short and it has a lot of regulations because you are here not permanently. We have seen people come with different kinds of invitations. As school, you're coming as a student. Your stay has strings attached because you came as a student.
Yes.
And so you have to maintain your status being a student. And if you don't maintain your status as a student, then the government is going to start looking for you to kick you out. If you come, the best way to come here, and this is just me speaking.
Yes.
I don't know the best way. God knows what's the best anything for anybody. The best way for anybody to come here is through green card. Why am I saying that? Because when you come here, you have the best chance of becoming an American without strings attached, with no strings attached. Because the green card itself gives you legal residency, you and your immediate family.
Yeah.
And then when you when you get here and maintain good status, of course, no government wants to house criminals.
Yeah, true.
If you maintain good status, I have to say that, then they can. You have after 5 years, you can become a citizen.
Okay.
So that is by far the best way, or the hustleless, the way with less hustles. But your way, anybody's way will be different.
Yeah.
And in that case, I just leave that to God and the individual person.
There's somebody who has lost hope because maybe one has been in a lot of storm life. Can you encourage somebody through your life experience?
My best experience, my best way through my experience that I can encourage anybody who's been through storms. One, as I said earlier, if you can get this, anybody can get this. There will be a lot of stress, strain that is going to be off of your shoulders. That which we call storms, we just call it storm because we don't like it. There's something in us that repels what we are going through at that time. And it is because we believe it is a storm that we go through pain.
Yeah.
If anybody took what they were going through as life at that time, I don't think to the crazy pain that we go through, we would be going through that. I'm going to tell somebody, this may help somebody right now. A good example, right now, as we speak,
yes,
Mr. Cairo calls me a cow. This is a very good analogy. Mr. Cairo calls me a cow. Number one, if I look at that picture, because I can see myself, I did not become a cow. I'm still me.
True.
But my thoughts have changed.
Yeah.
I am now not seeing Lucy. I believe that Mr. Cairo called me a cow. And it is not because of what I was called. but it's because of my thoughts of what I was called that makes me crazy from that point on. So what am I saying? I'm saying, can we please start analyzing our thoughts? Because 100%, it is not 99, it is not 89, it is 100%.
Yes.
Even in my journey, what I went through, it is not because of what happened.
Yes.
It is what I thought about what happened that messed me up.
Wow.
Anybody who is going through pain today, it is not because of what happened. It is what they thought about it. So if we changed our perspective,
yes,
like in this scenario, I can ask Mr. Cairo, what did you mean about mentioning cow? And probably Mr. Cairo was not even calling me the cow. He was just talking and mentioned the cow, and I took it that he was calling me a cow. And that right there solved my problem.
True.
Just because we did not analyze our thoughts or analyze the situation, our thoughts believed something that wasn't, and we became frustrated for life. So analyzing our thoughts is going to end us at a very good spot into alleviating a lot of pain and stress that we have been through. Know what you're believing is what I'm leaving you with. What is that you are believing? Is that true? Is that true? If it's true, then just find out a way to deal with it, knowing that it is not what happened, it is what you thought about what happened that is going to mess you up. Then if it is not true, the stress completely wears off immediately. Right.
Wow. So we tell somebody it is possible in life. We should not lose hope.
Totally, totally.
We should control our thoughts. We should worry what we think, because we should not listen to negative thoughts people bring into our life.
Exactly.
That's very, very interesting. Thank
Very
you so much.
dangerous.
As we are winding up, you have like 5 minutes. Maybe you have a word for these people from Kenya and from Kamunyaka, from Seattle, and tell them more how they're going to be visiting you in your YouTube account, which we are going to, which is going to come.
Again, when I had my calling, and after seeing my journey, my calling is to bring people to understanding, one, the truth of who they are, the truth of who they are. And in the process, to understand the true wholeness that comes with it. When we speak about, when we read the Bible, we are supposed to own wholeness. I'm going to be very short, the way I understand this scripture of the woman who was bleeding. She owned, this is the way I understand it. She owned her wholeness even before she touched the garment. Why do I say that? If she did not own the garment, own the healing,
yes,
she could not have been in the wrong place at that time, because she knew she was unclean and she was not supposed to be in the multitudes. So her owning of her health, of her wholeness, propelled the first step of coming into the multitudes, of penetrating in the people and not caring about what's going to happen, to the extent of touching the right robe, because guess what? She could have touched Peter's robe, she could have touched anybody's robe, because there were many people. Do you get that?
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is owning that which you believe in.
Yeah.
Owning that, and then waiting or taking the first step, the second step, it is going to propel you, seriously. You don't even have to do much.
Yeah.
You just need to hear the right voice and it is going to propel you to the right place. So in this case,
Yeah.
my calling is to guide people towards that, towards owning the true wholeness and knowing that it can propel them right. So I'll be True Wholeness, again, TRU Wholeness is the name of my YouTube channel. It has a few videos and I'll be making more. I want us to go back to health. I want us to go back to wholeness. I want us to cherish who we are as a being.
Yeah.
Cherish who we are and know ourselves as who we are as a being that has God in it. Because without God in the being is no longer present.
Oh, yeah. Very true.
Yes. Yes.
I know you love that part. Can you explain a little bit of it?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So my understanding of the scripture comes from the creation story. When God created man, when he spoke into being everything else, he took the initiative of molding. I call it the mud pile. Molding the mud pile. There's only one thing that I realized I did not understand or I did not grasp. That when he was done with the mud pile did not get up until he himself breathed into the mud pile. And so my understanding is what woke up is not the mud pile.
Yeah.
The mud pile is so helpless and useless in God's eyes as it was, because it did not have life. What woke up is the essence that God put in it. And it is that essence that beats my heart, gives me the breath, makes me hear you, see you. Because when it leaves, when that essence leaves, you start giving me a nickname or another name of a dead person or a corpse.
Yeah.
So when we have that essence and knowing that what I see is that essence that was put in. So when I see Mr. Cairo, I don't see that body. As long as he's talking to me, I see the essence that was breathed in, because that's what makes Cairo. Cairo could be a body laying or a mud pile laying on the ground.
True.
So when we mistake ourselves as the mud piles, that the mud pile is the one that gets frustrated, is the one that goes through a lot of pain because it doesn't know it. It's the essence of its creator.
Wow.
Exactly.
Dr. Before we wind up, there is somebody called Josephat Kariuki Ndongo. He's in Washington. He says, this lady is rich in wisdom. She has so much to give to Kenyans living in the US, especially. And then he says, please say again the YouTube channel. Pole pole to urudie the YouTube channel.
TRU Wholeness. I don't want to say true. I don't want to say true because people
there is no E.
Yeah, there's no E.
TRU Wholeness.
TRU Wholeness, yes.
.com.
Well, the website is truwholeness.com. The YouTube channel is just TRU Wholeness.
Okay,
and one word. All of it's one word.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I've also done that for them. YouTube is True Wholeness. Website is truewholeness.com. Wholeness.com. Website. Yes, I think we are good. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Can I say this? He says thank you. And Kamau Jr. says this is so encouraging. as Miloya was also following us and saying, thank you so much for the show. Maybe we can say kwaheri to the people of Kenya.
To the fathers in Kenya, I know you are kind of winding up on your day. It's evening. I hope you had an amazing day, and I hope you get to be there for your children. Be present to your children. To other parents, do the same. It is when we are present that these problems we are having of raising kids who have problems don't come up. Kwaheri so much. I love you all. And we shall meet somewhere. You can reach out to me in the website. There's a way you can reach out to me. My phone number, my email, everything is there. Feel free, ask any questions. We learn through, that's one way of how we learn, because we know what's required, what to impact people with. So thank you so much. We love you. We're waiting to hear from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daktari. I'm humbled to host you. Hapa kwa Dickens live streaming. Nashukuru Mungu because we had Daktari from a tailor to a doctor. It's a very encouraging story. And I'm telling you, the storms of life, they are not permanent. We are here to encourage somebody and tell that person it is possible. And Daktari amesema, to close all that she has said, don't compete with others.
Yes.
Compete with yourself.
Yes.
I think that's the whole story. You compete with yourself, and if you want to become what you want to become, you can become when you compete with yourself and not imitating others. Thank you so much, Daktari, and God bless you.
Amen.
Till Sunday, asanteni.
Good.